Hi everyone, G.I. Joe here, and welcome back to my bunker here in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the post-bloodbath update, recap, whatever you want to call it, video. And in case you haven't heard, if you've been under a rock here lately, we just completed about a week ago the third bloodbath tournament, and it was fantastic. So first of all, before we get going, I just want to say a heartfelt thanks to Sire Blood for all his hard work that he's done really the past 3 years and even years prior to that in developing this house rule set, the bloodbath rule set, and all the work that he's done behind the scenes with the customizations and the table builds and the custom pieces and weathering and all that kind of stuff, and of course the rule book and the card decks. I mean, so much endless hours of work has gone in to producing a fantastic product that is really starting to catch on in our community. So thanks Sire Blood for all your hard work, and of course for hosting. If you are familiar with the bloodbath, you know that the last 2 years, the first and second bloodbath, which was held in 2018 and in 2019, those were both held in Orange County, California. And this year was the first bloodbath here in Atlanta. And it was in Sire's basement, fantastic basement. He's done a lot of work there, and he calls it Site B3. And if you've been to the tournament this year and you saw his basement, you can attest to how cool it looks. And the awesome thing is he's just gotten started. So there's a lot more yet to come. In fact, I was there this evening, and I've already seen some changes that he's made since last week. So by the time next year rolls around for the Bloodbath 4 tournament, it's going to be fantastic. So I had a great time. I know there were 4 tables this year. And with the corona issue and the COVID virus, Sire decided wisely to kind of limit the amount of tables so that we had plenty of space to spread out and to do some social distancing, of course, and we wore masks and checked temperatures and all those kinds of things, and everything went off without a hitch. So we had 4 tables there. Each table had a 2-man team, so a total of 16 guys, 8 teams, 16 guys, and of course some old guys, I say old, but some guys that have been there in the past, let's call them veterans, right? That have been there since the original Bloodbath tournament 3 years ago. And it was also great to see those guys, like VK and Hambone and Corpo and Detroit and so many others. Warpig was there last year, but it was also awesome to see new faces, guys that we met this year for the first time, and great guys like Wildcat, Lieutenant Dan. Now, I've met Lieutenant Dan, of course. I've been to his house. He's actually part of our Atlanta play group here. But this is the first bloodbath tournament he's been out to. So it was great to have Lieutenant Dan there. Of course, Pagan came in from California. Wildcat, as I said, he's another Atlanta group player, but it's the first time I've met Wildcat face to face. So it was great to see him. And just some fantastic guys. We had Chris all the way from Boston, guys from Ohio, guys from California, guys from up east. And the only region we did not have anybody from were our friends up north, our Canadian friends. So shout out to you guys. I know several of you are wanting to come, War Torn, Gargantua, Jeremy, perhaps some others. So I know Hilltop has been wanting to get down for one, but we definitely missed our Canadian friends and brothers from the north. Hope you guys are faring well up there, but hopefully we'll get to see you next time, all right? So results, let's let you know what results are. If you haven't heard, there were 3 days of tournaments. Now day 1 was, the day 1 match was based upon a random draw. Now Sire Blood, we did it live using my live app, but it was at Sire Blood's Site B3. But we did a live draw, so it was a random draw, and day 1 was just a random determination on what teams were going to play what. other teams and what side they would play, whether it be Axis or whether it be Allies. And on day one, we had 4 games going on. And then, of course, what happened was if you played Axis on day one, you were guaranteed to play Allies on day 2. Now, the way it worked as far as teams were determined, not teams, but games, day 1, as I said, was a random draw. And then what they did was they took the highest scoring Axis team from day 1, then played the highest scoring Allies team for day 1. So for instance, you had 4 teams played Axis. So the team that scored the highest Axis points on day 1, on day 2, played the team that scored the highest Allied points, the Allied team with the highest scoring points. And then it kind of progressed down there. So the second highest Axis played the second highest Allies, the third highest Axis, third highest Allies, fourth highest Axis, the fourth highest Allies. So that's how day 2 matches were determined. Only on day 2, you flipped sides. So for instance, myself, I was teamed with Sire Blood, and our team was called the Peachtown Players, since we're here from Atlanta. And we played Axis on day 1, which means we played Allies on day 2, all right? And then simply after the day 2 totals, you just totaled up the amount of points, and the highest 4 teams, highest scoring teams, played on day 3 for the championship, okay? And the 2 highest scoring teams played in the gold medal game for gold and silver, and the 3rd and 4th highest teams played on the bronze, in the game for the bronze medal, all right? So the results were as follows. After day 1 and day 2, we had in the bronze medal game, we had the Los Padres, which consisted of the chaplain from St. Louis, Missouri, my hometown, and of course Corpo 24 from out in the Bay Area, as he calls it, San Francisco. And they played the Rust Belt Brigade, 2 great guys, War Pig and Detroit. And I don't know what the final score was, but I do know that Los Padres came away with a victory there in the bronze medal for 3rd place, and that was Corpo 24 and Chaplain. So congratulations to you guys, and also congratulations to Detroit and War Pig for making the final day. It was very, very tough. In the gold medal game, it was the team of the Midwest Bombers, which consisted of VK Cowboy out in Oklahoma and Hambone from Kansas City. And we were fortunate enough, myself and Sire Blood, the Peachtown Players, we were fortunate enough to play them in the gold medal game. And the results were the Midwest Bombers came away with a gold medal. So congratulations to VK and Hambone for a fantastic game. And let me tell you, it was tough. From about the we were Axis, myself and Sire Blood were Axis, and from about the 3rd round on, it was tough. It was really tough, and we kind of did a all-out attempt here in round 7, I think G7, to try to see if we could pull out a victory, and it just didn't kind of work for us. But nonetheless, we had a great time. Like I said, congrats to the Midwest Bombers for 1st place. Myself and Sire, the Peachtown Players, were fortunate enough to be in the gold medal game, come out 2nd, and of course congratulations to the Los Padres for their 3rd place bronze medal win. So man, and I'll tell you, we talked a lot over the past last weekend actually, and over the past week, on how challenging this year's tournament was. We had a lot of new faces, and let me tell you, these new teams that showed up, whether it be the 582 Combat Team or the WWF, I mean, it seemed like every single game, like just the level of play and competition was way higher than it has been the last couple years. And if I'm being quite frank and honest, there was a point in both games, both game 1 and game 2, that Sire and I looked at each other and been like, I don't know, man, we might lose this thing. So we feel very fortunate to come through that. But congratulations to all who participated, and hope you guys got home safely, all right? Now, I didn't have a chance to make a lot of video. I did do one video on day 2, and I will post that video at the end of this. So I'll just kind of attach it to the end of this video. So if you're interested in that, you can maybe fast forward down to the last, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes of this video, and you'll see some day 2 highlights. But I really didn't have time to make many other videos because our competition was just so challenging that I didn't have time to step away from the table, to be honest with you, that much. And when I did, it was try to talk to Sired about, hey man, well, how we need to address this situation, or some strategy talk. So I apologize for that, but I do know that some people like the chaplain in Detroit and others were able to make some video. Hambone, he did a lot of videos, so you might want to check out their channels, all right? So, but I will post my second day video that I did here. It'll be about the last 10 or 12 minutes of this video here. All right. So again, successful, awesome bloodbath tournament, and first one here in Atlanta. So what happens next year? Well, according to what Sire Blood has told me, and he's actually already posted a video about this, but there will be a Bloodbath 4 next year. It will be the same corresponding weekend, which is the last weekend in September. I think he said the 25th through the 27th, all right? And if you want to check out those dates, you can follow along if you go to his website, which is siredblood.com/community. And you can kind of follow along with any of the chats and updates and those kinds of things that might be happening here over the next 11 to 12 months. Now, as far as growth, as I said before, this tournament this year, he purposefully did only 4 tables, so he had ample room to space people out and to social distance. Next year, even though I would say he probably has room for 6 tables or so, I know that he's going to be building some more, like a bar area, that kind of stuff, in one section of his basement, which is going to take up some of the room. So from the word is that he's told me, is that he's going to go to 5 tables next year, all right? Now keep in mind, this year we had 4 tables. So next year that's 5 tables. So that's really only adding 2 more teams of 2. Now if you add that all up, that's 20 people. Well, we had 16 this year. But he has told me that he is going to increase the amount of people that can come to 24. Still going to have 5 tables, but there will be 24 people that will be allowed to come. Now, so what does that mean? That means that there will be 4 teams of 3, okay, as it stands right now. So 5 tables, each having 2 teams, that's 20 people, and then there will be an extra 4 people that will be allowed to come, and those extra 4 people will be put on another team, and there will be 4 teams of 3. Now, if you're coming to the tournament, you will, very well have the chance and the opportunity to, if you decide you want to be one of those teams of 3, you can take care of that yourself. If not, if you're kind of a solo player, you really don't know anybody, and you're kind of coming to the tournament for the first time, you might, be put on a team. If you don't have a teammate, you might be put on another team to have a team of 3. So that's the good news. The bad news is, as if you've watched Sired's video already, the bad news is it's getting increasingly difficult to get into this tournament as it stands right now, okay? Sired has limited space, and he doesn't want to just throw out 6, 7, 8 tables, because he does want to make sure that he has ample room to make it comfortable for everybody. And he doesn't want to grow too fast too quickly. So it's becoming increasingly difficult to get into this tournament, because of what it is if you showed up to this year's tournament, you are giving first dibs. And this is how it's working. Everybody who was at this year's tournament has until January 1st, 2021 to make their deposit, to pay their registration fee, all right? So all of you are watching out there, if you happen to have been here last weekend at the tournament, the good news is you've got from now till January 1st to decide if you want to come and pay your registration fee, okay? Now, the good news is I recommend you go ahead and do that, because Sired has been great about to where if you pay, then for some reason it doesn't work out and you can't come, he's been great about refunding your money or making that registration carry over to the next year, right? So like I know this year, the Moffett Field and his brother, they paid, but were unable to come out this year. So they're actually prepaid for next year, the Bloodbath 4 tournament. So it'd be great to see them again next year. So all that being said, the 16 people that were here this year have dibs, first dibs, which means it leaves 8 slots left, essentially. Unless one of those 16 people that was here this year decides to give up their slot, or they don't pay their registration fee by January 1. So if you want to follow along how that's going, you can check out, again, sireblood.com/community. Click on the events section, and you can see who's already registered for next year. Now, if you want to be put on a waiting list, you can maybe type your name in there. I know there are a couple people that have already said that they want to be on a waiting list. So you might want to go check that out here pretty quickly, but definitely encourage you to get out, all right, if at all possible. So that's all I want to talk about as far as the tournament. Again, once again, thanks to Sired and all that have made that this a fantastic event. And also thanks, Sired, for being my teammate. I had a blast playing with you, and to be able to get to the gold medal game at your tournament, in your house, playing with you, with your rule set, is pretty awesome. So came up a little bit short of our goal. You know, of course we wanted to win the gold, but couldn't have lost to a better bunch of guys with VK and Hambone. So congratulations to you guys again. All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to show you a few other things. We're going to talk about maybe my channel update here in a second. But like I said, if you have any interest in seeing any of the footage that I took on day 2, you can just fast forward to the end of this video, about the last 10 to 12 minutes, and you can see some of that. All right. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to talk to you about a few things, and then I'm going to show you a couple of the prizes that I won, and I'm going to show you the map. Now, I know I did kind of a map vid here about a month ago, and it was kind of a spoof, and you know, it was all black and white when you finally got to it, but I want to give you a close-up view of the map. I was fortunate enough to win a map at the tournament, and there were only 8 maps printed, and I know Sireblood kept a couple of them, and I know a couple of guys won some. I know Panzer J Patton won one up there in Illinois. I know Rich from Combat Miniatures, I know he won one. I know I won one. I know VK won one. Trying to think, I'm sure there were a couple others, but the only way you can get this map I'm about to show you is if you won one, because you're not going to be able to print this at all, according to what Sired says. So I'll show you that map here in just a minute. But a few things. First is I got a new app for my phone, and you know, I'm a little under 600 subscribers right now. So first of all, thank you if you are a subscriber, whether it be an original one, back to the Big E, he was my first subscriber, or if you've been a fairly recent or new subscriber, I just want to say thank you for your support and encouragement and for following along. But well, forgot what I was going to say. All right, anyway, so if you've been a subscriber, you know that I have a lot of different customizations, and you may have seen recently that I did started a series of videos talking about customized nations, you know, with different pieces. Now, this morning, on Saturday, October the 3rd, my United States video popped up with all my custom pieces, and it didn't have, I filmed those videos a while back, a month ago, and I just scheduled them to show up, you know, every 7 days or so. But I got a few new pieces for my America set, so I'm going to show you that here in just a minute. I didn't want to make a whole new US video just to show you a couple of the pieces, so I'll show you that in a minute. But one of the new apps, that's where I was, one of the new apps that I got, since I'm under 600 subscribers, I'm not able to stream live through YouTube. However, I did find an app through the App Store that allows me to link to YouTube and still stream live. So you may have watched the live prize giveaway, you may have watched the live testing, you may have watched the live random drawing that we did with Sired about a week ago, a little over a week ago. But so you may have already seen the fact that I have a live means to stream live video into YouTube. So the reason I got that app is one for the tournament, but I kind of have a vision of, you know, maybe we do some of our YouTube games. I can do some live stuff, but I'd also like to do maybe some live question and answer sessions, you know, where we talk some certain rules about Bloodbath and maybe some of the updates. Hey guys, we just play tested. Here's a recent update. What do you think? And you guys can shoot me some questions back and forth, or maybe we can have a topic of the week, you know. So if I hop on and say, hey guys, you know, the topic of this week is going to be target selection, and we talk about target selection and how to do that, or if you have questions about that rule set or what it might look in certain situations, you know. So that's what I kind of envision for this whole live thing, but that'll be forthcoming here. So hopefully you guys will be interested in that. So all right, so what I want to do is I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to take you into my shop. I'm going to show you the map. I'm going to show you my couple new pieces. And then after that, like I said, if you want to hang around and watch the last 10, 12 minutes, you can see some day 2 footage, all right? So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you just in a minute in the shop. All right, guys, so continuing on, here we are in my shop. And I just want to show you a few things, a few prizes and a couple things. But let's start with my America pieces. Now, maybe if you haven't seen yet, you may not know that I've been doing a kind of a mini-series on customized nations, where I go through every single nation and show you the custom pieces that I have and where I got them. And I got a few new custom pieces here about a week and a half ago, and I didn't want to redo my America video just because of these pieces. So I decided to just kind of add it to this little BB3 Recap channel update video. So I'm not going to go through all these pieces because if you've seen my US video that popped up this morning about 9 a.m., you've already seen these. But the pieces are right here. This is my new US transport. Now, this is a Higgins boat, if you know anything about history. And of course, I painted it, weathered it. I want to show you the size of this compared to the out-of-box transports, okay? Now, it's just barely a little bit shorter than the out-of-box transport, and it's a little bit wider. So, you know, if you're looking at scale, of course this is not to scale, because if you put a battleship up to it, Higgins boats were not over half the size of a battleship in World War II. We know that, all right? But the scale is not perfect here because, as you know, an infantry in Axis and Allies is a lot taller than a tank, and we know that that was not the case. So, but nonetheless, I just wanted to show you how this kind of compares to a battleship. Of course, these are custom battleships. This is my South Dakota from Shapeways. But these, I got these at I Will Never Grow Up. Now, I just kind of accidentally came across these because I was looking for some other things. I can't remember. I think I was looking for some Italian units. And I happened to see these, and these are 3D printed, actually, and they were only 50 cents each. And the detail is really, really good. I am very pleased with these, right? So I think I bought 12 of these, right? I mean, $6, you get 12 of them, you know, 50 cents a pop. And then, of course, I did my typical painting and weathering. But, I mean, look at those. So these are going to replace my transports, and they are going to be my U.S. transports. Now, I know that they didn't cross the ocean in these, that they probably crossed the ocean in something a lot more like this. But, you know, if you're going to do a U.S. amphibious assault, I mean, what says U.S. amphibious assault better than a Higgins boat? And I've actually been to the Higgins factory in New Orleans, which is now the D-Day Museum. In fact, one of my friends, his dad's World War II helmet is on display there. He was came across Utah Beach and got wounded outside of St. Lo, France. So I've been to the D-Day Museum in New Orleans, and so if you haven't been there, you might want to check it out. But it was actually in the old Higgins factory where they made the Higgins boats. So anyways, that's all I want to show you. Now, and also when I was on I Will Never Grow Up, I bought these tanks, and I honestly forgot what they were called, to be honest with you. And I kind of dig them, man. Pretty good detail. Again, these were 50 cents each. So I did my whole little weathering thing that I do. So anyways, I just want to show you that, and everything else for the U.S. is normal. All right, now let's show you a few prizes here. All right, then we'll get to the map. I'm sure that's the good stuff, right? So here we go. So there were a lot of prizes there and I did a prize video. So if you want to see that, you can maybe click on that and watch it. But there were tons of prizes from all over. You know, we had folks like Detroit and lots of people. Sired, of course. I donated some things. So a lot of prizes were donated, and I mean there was a table there. There were maps, all types of little things. So I put most of the stuff up there I already had, or at least had some version of it to fill my needs. So I decided to go for something that I didn't have. And I mean, and that were these wicked glasses. I mean, this is just so cool. And I think these were made by Rich up at Combat Miniatures. So shout out to you, Rich. Thank you for helping provide these for giveaways. They were actually 3 sets, and I was fortunate enough to win one of them. But if you notice, they have this awesome engraving on them. So there's the Germany one. Here's the Italy one, the fascist Italy. There's Japan, right? And over here we have the United States. Then we have the Russian, Soviet Union, and then of course the United Kingdom. And so these are great glasses. And I thought, hey, what better way to, have some guys enjoy a beverage? Fits in the cup there. And not only that, when you're doing refills and such, you won't get mixed up whose glass is whose, because you just drink out of whatever country you're playing. And then I saw this glass, and I just had to have it because it has the BBR on it, and of course the roundels for every single nation. Well, not China, but that's all right. Nor France, but no big deal. The major players, I guess you say. So that was, I kind of put a lot of tickets into there, and I put some tickets into other spots, but didn't win anything, and that was okay, because this is really what I was going for. And the other thing is, they had like a whole bunch of little bitty things with painted pieces that donated by Detroit, and roundels and dice and all types of things, and dice cups, what have you. And I put in and picked out the new tech roundels from Sire Blood. So these are the updated tech roundels. And yeah, so that's what I got. Now, all that being said, let's go to probably why you're watching this video, if you are watching. Let's go to the map. So I'm going to take the glasses out of the way here. Now, this is the actual tournament map. And if you've seen Sire Blood's maps, you know that this looks different. So I think the one thing, or the two things that are kind of glaringly different on this map are the fact that the water is a lot lighter. It's more of a gray. And you can see the white that's in here, light gray, so it gives a very, oceanic, wavy kind of look. So the water is gray here as opposed to the darker blue on the previous map. So that's the first thing. And the second thing you see are the borders. The borders is this kind of soft red here. It looks a little darker on my camera than it actually is. But when you back up, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous map. An absolute gorgeous map. And something else he did here is he added a lot of cities, particularly here along the North African coast, right? Oran, Bizerta, Tunis. So you see all these different cities added, right? And of course you see that the Bessarabia's won, right? You see that the Sahara Desert doesn't go all the way to the coast. It's the same consistent with the other 3.1 map that I printed. But this is the tournament map. Everybody played on one of these. These are the tournament colors. And I think only 4 or 5 people actually won one of these. So I feel very fortunate to have one. And it's already been sealed and with a protective coating. So the other thing that's cool about this is it's got the cool BB3 logo here at the bottom, right? BB3. So there will never be another one of these maps. So feel very, very fortunate to have won this map. And there we go. A little darker. The land is just a tad darker here in the Soviet Union. All right. But it's just absolutely stunningly beautiful. You know, and I like the original Bloodbath map. But after seeing this, I just had to have one, so I'm glad I won it. Anyways, so, and if you see, it goes with the color scheme. The pieces look great on it. And I actually think this map looks better with this table than the previous map. And something that was very important, these weathered pieces I've spent a lot of time on, they look just as great on this map, if not better, than the other one. In fact, I think the America pieces, as Sire just pointed out, the U.S. pieces actually look better on the map because the dark green contrasts this light gray of the ocean, whereas on the previous map, the ocean was a darker blue, and so you know, you didn't have as much contrast between the American Navy nor the German Navy on this piece, so on this map. So anyways, there you go, guys. Sorry for rambling on. I know it's going to be a little bit longer video than normal, but feel free to hang around. If on the end of this, like I said, I will have some day 2 footage about the last 10 or 12 minutes, so feel free to watch that if you like. If not, hope you guys are doing great, and don't forget to go to sireblood.com/community to see the dates, to get your name on a list. Okay, I think he's doing, as it is right now, I think it is on a waiting list. And what will happen is on January 1st, if people who were at this year's tournament have not paid, their slots will then be open to the general community for registration. So you definitely want to check out. You want to check out from time to time sireblood.com/community. Therefore, you can, and then of course on January 1st, and you can determine if there's any slots available for next year's tournament. All right. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time. All right, guys, G.I. Joe here. Welcome back to the bunker in Atlanta, Georgia. Here we are finishing up Game 2. Myself and Sire Blood playing the Allies versus the 582 Combat Team. Great players. And my, oh my, what a game it was. Not going to go through every detail, but essentially at one point the Axis powers had 17 points at the beginning of Game 7. Round 7, rather. Sorry. And the Allies, myself and Sire Blood, were able to take away 8 points in the 7th round, taking away Hawaii from them, taking away the Pacific Islands, taking away the Philippines, taking away the oil point. We took Shanghai, we took Hong Kong, and then the big one was Sire Blood taking Rome on UK 7, turning Rome, Italy, into an allied nation, which allowed Italy then to move into Paris to liberate Paris, pile in Paris, get the 12 IPCs worth of French there. So amazing. But good time. Hey, VK, what's happening, brother?
Master Joe, congratulations on your well-earned, hard-fought victory.
Well, congratulations.
This game went back and forth pretty wildly. Pretty wildly.
It was, I thought they had us, to be honest with you. And we were just trying to get some of those Axis territories to see if we can get as many points as we can to get to play tomorrow. But it turns out, things turned out. But congratulations to you, sir.
Well, thank you, sir.
So you and Hambone.
Yeah. Had someone do something I've never seen before.
What's that?
He called it the Trident. He brought, by round 3, he had about 30 ships here. Swung everything around that side, built a naval base here, and was sitting right here so that he could face off on Germany.
Oh, wow.
So we had to hold off, bring in, obviously, UK.
Wow.
Because Hambone was set up perfectly to attack the rest of the United Kingdom and Anzac stuff sitting down there, but he couldn't do it because there was no way I could handle all 30 ships. So we'd have been dead.
Why the Trident? Why that name?
Because I don't know why he calls it, but it can flip around to that other side, which is
wow.
I built up my navy enough to push him that way, but interesting thing. Interesting thing.
And a naval base where?
They put a naval base in Central America, which obviously can hit 1, 2, 3, and it also can hit Hawaiian Islands, and it can also hit New Zealand. It can hit all 3 of those from there.
And that's what I love about this game is it's not out of the box. It's not. There's so many creative ways to win.
There is nothing scripted about BBR. There are you said it, there are so many different ways you can attack it because you're not having to win conventional.
Right.
It's all about the points. So you go get the points however they are. And then the points change. There's no, I mean, you've got probably 6 that are standard points.
Right.
And then after that, it can be anywhere from 4 to 30.
Well, let me ask you this: this is the first official tournament that the Reich and the Imperial Point were put in play.
Yes, sir.
What did you think about that overall the last 2 days? As far as because before it was you had to maintain certain territories.
Correct.
Now it's an IPC point to where Germany and Italy get to determine what the Reich is.
That's
so it's
correct.
a 70 IPC.
It allows you to go north. It allows you to go south. It allows you to go evade them completely and then make them take stuff right down through the middle. Then you come back and pounce on them again.
So
yeah,
you
really
can determine what your empire is going to be.
Absolutely.
You get a point. So you like that?
I do. I do because it doesn't pigeonhole you into areas.
Right.
You're not money grubbing like you would normal out of box. You've got so many different ways you can spread out, compact. You make the game what you're going to make it.
Well, the thing, one other reason I like it, I think, is like towards the end, say if you're the Allies and you're trying to keep them, it gives relevance to places like Canada and France and Anzac. They're going to try to gobble up territories
To remove those.
to remove the Reich point, or
Something you would never see in a normal game,
Right.
but that's what's out there.
And so it makes it exciting for France, Canada. I mean, everybody has fun all the way to
So
the
they
end.
were trying to knock Hambone off of it. They did a desperation thing trying to remove that last to get him under. And it did take a victory point. A single artillery killed a fighter and attack.
Wow.
I took one plane and 2 aircraft carriers with 3 hits.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I came over and saw that battle. I did.
Well, here's a
I came over and saw that
flyover
battle.
of the end result. You see here a lot of pieces still on the board, but you get down to that last round, and if it's not worth, if it's a battle that isn't going to affect a point or a victory, there's just no point in fighting the battles just to have time. But had a blast, good time. Show you around the bunker a little bit here. Sire's site B3, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Painted that in. You see the banners. This is from last year. That was out in Orange County. Right. Last year's Bloodbath, 2019. Of course, you see the first one from 2018, also in Orange County. Right. You see the Reckless Indifferent. They were the winners. That was a VK Cowboy and Argo Thayer's team. Last year was Fed by Your Dread New Alliance, myself with teammate Gargantua. And what's going to happen this year? To be determined. We have the Atlanta. Welcome to the pandemic in Atlanta. Site B3. The final heats have not been determined yet. It looks as if the Midwest Bombers, which is VK Cowboy and Hambone, along with the Peachtown Players, which is myself and Cireblood. Looks like we're going to be in the gold game this so we'll see here how these points, but they're going to have to get 40-something points in one game, which doesn't look like that will happen, most likely. So we'll see what this heat looks like here once the final is getting going, or once the final is determined. But let's take a look over here. You see the prize place and these beautiful new maps. In fact, let me go back and show a map. Let's look at this map.
I don't think it's finished.
Here is the map we've been talking about. It's a different color. If you're familiar with the Cireblood map color scheme, you know that this looks different. The water is a lot lighter and grayer, but you see the territories are lined in red, a little bit darker on the territories. The borders are in red. A stunningly beautiful map, but the map is not for sale. The only way to get this is to win it, either through a prize drawing, or I don't know if it's a one of the trophies for the winners. But you see some maps here for drawings. Beautiful map. So let's look at some of the giveaways here. The prizes. We have an actual table giveaway. We have a beautiful T-Joke anniversary map on styrene. That is a giveaway. Look at that prize. Beautiful, beautiful map. So whoever gets that's got to figure out how to get it home, either drive a car or whatever. You see we have an Axis and Allies Pacific 2nd edition. We have an Axis and Allies Europe 2nd edition. Got a Bloodbath version 1 map with the card sets. We got dice. We got more dice. We got these cool BBR glass sets. Look at this. No, not BBR, I'm sorry, the nations. You got US, you have Russia, you have fascist Italy, Germany. So I think this is each a prize. One set, one set, one set. So 3 different prizes. You have HPG French set. You've got some awesome roundels by Matt Todd. Some fuel gauges by Matt Todd. Some tech roundels. All types of different things here. Some manuals. Larry Harris, look at that. 1914 autograph Larry Harris. Pretty sweet. A lot of things by Combat Miniatures. You know, a lot of guys around here have been donating stuff, you know, in different places. So you see some nice painted pieces here. Really cool plate there, D-Day landing plate. Some model airplanes, those kinds of things, die-cast metal. Some pretty sweet stash. You got some carrier stickers. And this is the rest of the table. Look at that. Absolutely. It's gonna be fantastic. So we got a big awesome crew here. We got the Rust Belt Brigade. We got Warpig.
What's up, my brother?
We got Detroit, the Godfather.
Thank you.
From Joyzy. How you doing, man?
Good, my brother. We had a fantastic time. I tell you what, today was quite an interesting day. We shared some time with these 2 gentlemen that were just opponents. You know, the WWF, Ironsides, Wildcat. You know, they were awesome guys. We had a lot of fun playing with them today.
Yeah, great time. We played them yesterday.
Rookies.
They gave us a run for our money yesterday.
They got awesome.
And we got Whitley, right?
I've been named
WWF.
I've been
Careful.
named by Detroit.
Careful.
Oh, really? Did not have an official handle.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm like, you gotta have a handle by the end of the day. And he couldn't come up with one.
And it is?
So he's from Boston,
Oh, yeah.
right? And of course, in Boston, at Boston Harbor, you have the USS Constitution, Ironsides, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Right, so
I think it's so sick.
Ironsides, the USS Constitution was a warship, a sailing ship
Yeah.
that was involved in the War of 1812 against the British. So appropriate. He's from Boston, and
Yeah.
of course Ironsides.
Love Boston. Been there several times. Love it, love it, love it.
Great city.
Of course, we could call him Whitley. Wicked Whitley, right?
Wicked.
That's Wicked 5,
That's his
man.
other
Wicked
nickname.
5. Wicked 5.
That's his nickname. He is Ironsides.
And their first time, and great guys, great players, even better guys. And we have Wildcat over here, actually living in Atlanta now, part of our Atlanta group, but this is the first time we've met in person, so.
Yeah, it was great to be here. Great to get out and play Axis and Allies. Or the first time I've been able to play with other people. I've had some solo games that I've been playing, but first time since moving to Atlanta from Augusta that getting out and playing with people, even during the pandemic. So
Yeah, so your first experience really truly playing BBR?
yes. So yesterday and today was the first experience really playing a full BBR game. So it's good. It's kind of one of those things of with it being the points and everything, playing it all the way through. There were probably a couple of times yesterday and today where if the tournament and the points and everything, probably would have said, yeah, it's done, y'all got us.
Yeah.
But it's been great. It's been a great experience.
Like I said a couple years ago, I came to the first BBR tournament because of the game. I was interested, and then I returned because of the people. Because you meet great guys, and I count you among that now. So glad to have you part of the fraternity. BBR fraternity.
Well, I'm glad y'all are having me.
Yeah, thanks.
I definitely got
Final
Did you
tally?
do this? Did you do this? RP?
No, that wasn't me.
trying to figure out who it was.
That wasn't me. Here we are, the final results. Midwest Bombers with 49. Peachtown Players with 48. Los Padres, that's Corpo 24, and the Chaplains. And then Rust Belt Brigade, Detroit, and War Pig. So some great stuff. We got Hambone here. We got Pagan. We got Lieutenant Dan. It's a star-studded cast. Great guys. We got, of course, you met all of them already. And we got Sireblood himself. Let's see here. Again, a great bunker. We got the chaplain there, part of Los Padres. Lieutenant Dan, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Welcome. You have fun?
Oh yeah, definitely. Good
Awesome.
time.
Awesome, man.
Good time.
Yep, Dan's in our Atlanta group. Did you meet Wildcat? He's in the Atlanta group.
I got his number.
And this was his first official BVR event. So our little Atlanta group's growing, man.
Yep, sure is.
So great to have you out.
Yep.
Yep, take care. First we got VK. You met VK. You met all them. Hambone. What's happening?
Supper.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thanks.
2 years in a row, you're in the big one, right?
The final round. Yeah, we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
At this point, I don't really care. Just
Yeah. All right.
to
Yeah.
get to play with you 2 years in a row, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All the joking around. So
It'll be a fun time.
Yep,
No doubt.
absolutely. Well, here in a minute, we'll take a talk with Sire over here. But all right, looking good.